Koala crew, and welcome back to the Corner of Remnant. I'm your host Larissa, and I'm joined by co-host Emperial Dawn.
Hello.
Hello. And today we are discussing Chapter 12 of RWBY Volume 8, titled Creation. Exciting. I will just say at the start of the video, for those watching this and wondering where my reaction is, in case you don't follow me on social media, I had issues with the recording of my reaction to Chapter 12, so unfortunately for the first time since me doing reactions, it won't be a full episode reaction. I am working on something to post still showing some of the original footage, so hopefully they'll be up in the next few days. But yeah, unfortunately no full reaction. It's weird. It's weird. Like, I was thinking during the week, I need to do my thumbnail. Wait, I haven't uploaded the video because I can't. Oh, I need to make sure the dispute goes through. Wait, I haven't uploaded it. It's so weird.
It's throwing the whole schedule out of whack.
Yeah, it really does. But yeah, that's what's happened to that. So it should hopefully in the next few days. I might post an update video if I get a chance to go up at episode release, but I might not have because I got my brother's wedding this weekend. There's just a lot of other things going on this week which hasn't helped. But yeah, so that's why my reaction isn't up. But anyway,
at least you got the Ren and Nora moment.
Yes,
captured at least.
Yes, yeah, I did.
Two of your favorite characters, I'm sure. It's good to at least got that moment.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and like I said, this is the first error you've had.
Yeah.
Since you started doing this, so you know, and that's pretty commendable. They only have 3 years and only have an error.
Well, I did have an issue with when was it? I think it was Volume 5. I know with one of them, we had episodes with the episode itself. When I was watching it kept stopping to buffer, and it was my computer just freaking out. I still was able to pull the full reaction video, but I had to edit the footage a lot because of that. It was a real pain, but I was still able to upload the full reaction. So this is the first time where no full reaction, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough.
And it had to be, you know, right at the end of the season too, but it was such a good episode. Chapter 12 was amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It paced really well. Even though there was a lot of dialogue and stuff in the middle, it didn't feel too drawn out. And the fight scene at the start was really smooth. And yeah, I really enjoyed the whole episode. It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an episode that I really enjoyed. You know, obvious reasons. You know, it was focused around like one of my favorite characters and stuff. So a lot of significance and stuff there. Like I said, the pacing was interesting because it was a lot happened.
Yeah.
And yet there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's been a slower volume, but a lot of it really encompasses this volume in where the pacing has felt slow, but yet so much has been happening.
Yeah.
And this episode was very much the personification of that, where a lot have happened all at once, and it's like, oh, we still got 2 more episodes. I feel this
we
feels
do.
Like this episode, I feel like it could have been over 2 episodes.
And here we thought there was going to be a party in the vault. Well, it kind of was, but not the party that we were expecting.
Like that's what I mean. Like you had Ironwood's downfall, you had Penny, you had like a lot happened in this episode that probably could have happened in different. Not that I'm complaining at all.
Yeah.
I'm very happy it all happened the way it did. But like going in like following the flow of the season, you know, for Ironwood just to go down and just to get the relic and do like it just feels
actually
like,
their plan went to plan.
That worked. Like, you know, like, I guess.
I guess because, too, like, this whole volume, it's been, not everyone's plans have been working out. They've been basically failing and just nothing going as it should. Yet this whole plan they put together for this actually went according to plan.
It's just, I think ever since the Grim explosion, I think everything just, like, I feel like that's thrown everyone in the audience kind of, like, out of whack, like now I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
so I think that took everyone off guard, you know, and I think that was deliberate, especially in the way that shot in episode 10, I think it was, when the whale was destroyed.
Yeah,
like that came out of nowhere, like
it did.
And I think that in itself is also somewhat like symbolic of kind of like how the rest of this volume has kind of happened, where it's like now I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So now, you know, like Ironwood gets defeated, we get the relic, and it's like, oh, that'll happen in one episode. It's like, oh, okay. I thought that would be more of a struggle, but okay.
Yeah, sure. It actually went well. But
everything makes sense.
I guess it just shows, though, what we thought was going to be the end of the volume is not the end of the volume. So we've still got 2 episodes to go. Looks like everyone's going to Vacuo. So is it going to be the Vacuo, or is it going to be? Yeah.
I guess I would say that this, like, in a sense, you could argue that this felt like the finale episode.
Yeah.
And appropriate being episode 12, episode 12 or 13 normally being the finale episode. This felt like the finale, and like it wrapped up. It did wrap up Atlas. Like, we beat Ironwood.
Yep.
It wrapped up Atlas,
basically.
but it also then teased the fall and what we're gonna get the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, don't fall.
And like the next 2 episodes are going to be just about that. I imagine very much that before we get into the episode, that we will get Vacuo.
Yes.
At the end of this volume.
I didn't think we were going to, but it looks like we will.
Like we were meant to get Atlas at the end of volume 6.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we will get the equivalent here. I think we will we might see Sun. We might, at least Sun and Neptune. I don't know about the
probably see everyone arriving in Vacuo, and then other people's reactions to them arriving.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think how we were meant to meet Penny at the end of volume 6. I think we'll likely maybe run into, like, maybe get to Vacuo and see at least Sun and Neptune, and that'll be the end of the volume.
I hope we see Teen Coffee. Oh my god.
Next time, I don't think we'll see him yet.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we'll just see the bare minimum.
We might briefly see them, but we won't.
Maybe, but it just seems like a lot to have the models, those models ready already.
Well, yeah.
Otherwise, like, if we saw them in the flashback in episode 5, then I'd be more confident saying that. But since we just saw Sun and Neptune,
true. Because they already had their models.
I'm saying we will see Coffee next volume when we're in Vacuo.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to end this volume, and we'll just see the bare minimum to at least see Sun and Neptune, because again, the main audience knows that Sun and Neptune are in Vacuo. They don't know that he's in Vacuo.
No, true.
So I just don't
and those who read the books.
High priority. As much as, again, the loyalists, book readers of us want to see that. I do too. Of course I do.
Yeah.
I'm just trying.
Maybe we'll just see, like, the crowd and we see Velvet's ears just sticking up in the background. I'll be happy.
That would be funny. But of course we have to make it past, Cinder. And I also think, I don't know, a part of me thinks that, like, I don't know, the whole Cinder fall thing and falling and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if this is maybe a long-term plot, like this. I wonder if this was like maybe a long thought-out plot moment. If this was like a significant moment. I don't know. Again, Cinder Fall being the Four Maiden, that wasn't planned. That was just a coincidence that they ran with when they made the Maidens before Volume 3.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that the Maidens weren't a planned thing. But this... And we know that Volume 9 is meant to be something really significant. They've teased that this was like a long planned volume. We still think this is going to be a shorter volume, so it could be like a spin-off or some sort of extra mini.
We thought it was going to be a travel volume, but it doesn't look like it's going to be now.
I'm glad that after Volume 4 they kind of decided against that. I was kind of curious if they would get around that. I saw a little tweet earlier this morning about when Tyrion and Mercury arrived in Vacuo.
Oh yeah.
They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what's happened?
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea that I never thought of them, using the relic to create portals to get everyone out of both cities. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And also because we always thought, well, if they're going to raise Atlas in the air, what's going to happen with Salem? And because she's going to regenerate where she, assumingly where she got killed by the explosion. Yeah. So it was like, well, then she's going to be on Atlas, but they're just leaving her, abandoning her.
Well, yeah, that's what I loved a lot about Winter's line in this, where she says, Salem can have the rubble.
Yeah, she can have the rubble.
I can very much imagine if we get like a post-credit scene
of her just calling herself out of the rubble.
Yeah, her crawling out of the rock, and like this is all like it's just her waking up in the rubble of Atlas, literally falling in mantle. Like all of Solitos probably almost completely destroyed.
Oh yeah,
the whole continent could be destroyed by this, and it just depends how softly the gravity does. Like it might soften it enough where it doesn't like crack the continental shelf or anything like that.
No, but it's gonna make an impact.
Yeah, I can just imagine her, hand out of the rubble, and I just imagine her getting up and just thinking, like, just this look on her face was like, even that didn't kill me. Back to
I was just like, what happened?
Yeah, I can just imagine her being like...
Well, she wanted to destroy Atlas, but then he ended up doing it without her.
I can just imagine her being annoyed that she's not dead. I can just imagine her just being like, and we go again. She's like, what you say in Volume 6? And it's like, so I must...
Yes.
Push. I can just imagine that.
Yep. Yeah, so it'd be interesting how long it would take for her to regenerate if she hasn't already, but I guess it depends how badly she was.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't expect to see her other than like a little teaser.
End credit scene.
And then I can also maybe imagine her again attacking Bakura, but maybe a lot less strategically. Maybe it's a bit more rushed, a bit more angry, and that was a bit more of an even fight next time.
Yeah, could be.
She invades Bakura. Or again, I remember I was talking to someone at the start of the week about what could happen, where it's like, we go get the Relic of Destruction, we assume the Relic of Destruction can kill Salem.
Maybe.
It doesn't. We then go get the Relic of Choice, get all 4, do something, then maybe go to Salem's Land and confront her there. Again, speculating on whatever the next couple of
it would be interesting, go. So, well, we know Cinder, Neo, and Watts have the lamp. So,
true. Yeah, so we have to get in that plan. We have to get them off, get that off them at some point.
Yeah.
Which I can maybe imagine Emerald doing, which again still ties into the
Oh yeah, of course.
Aladdin illusion.
Yeah.
Then again, will Emerald go against Cinder? That's still up in the air. She's definitely willing to. She knows she doesn't want the world to be destroyed, so she's willing to work with our heroes. But does Cinder mean more than the world to her? And I argue that maybe it does.
Might do. We'll see how she goes. She's already sort of been betrayed by Cinder a few times now, but.
We mentioned the Relic of Creation, and I want to get into that immediately.
We can quickly talk over that, and then we can recap on the episode. Yep. Yeah,
so I really wanted to just get your thoughts. Obviously, since you don't have a reaction, we have your thoughts this week. And I'm very curious. I'm very curious to hear, because I remember messaging you and saying that, hey, watch this when you're awake. Watch this when your head's together. Otherwise,
I don't think I ended up watching that. The reaction, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, or the episode.
Yeah, the episode.
Because I watched it dead tired, and I.
Oh yeah.
Most of what actually happened.
Yes.
I couldn't understand what the hell Ruby was trying to ask. I couldn't understand.
Yeah, it was.
Awake. So,
I had to end up watching it a couple times to sort of get a full grasp of what she was saying.
Yeah. So I'm curious on what your initial thoughts for the episode. What were you assuming was happening, and did it make sense to you in the end?
Yeah.
Of that first time you watched it, what did you assume was happened with Penny especially?
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting for them to turn Penny into a real girl, so I wasn't expecting that at all. So when they were talking over that plan, and I was just like, oh, they're actually doing it. I really liked Ambrosius. I thought he was really cool. I mean, oh my, he's pretty sexy. I didn't realize he wasn't missing a penis until the credits, so that was funny.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, Fat Cow is going to absolutely love this.
Yes.
All week, he's just been redrawing Ambrosius. I'm like, yep.
I looked it up on Google because I was trying to find the wiki page for him, and there was already fan art. Like, of course there is. But yeah, Ambrosius sort of alludes to the Blue Fairy. But also
I'm not familiar with the story, but I've definitely heard.
Yeah, Blue Fairy with Pinocchio. So in Pinocchio, Blue Fairy is the one who makes Pinocchio into a real boy. So alludes to that, of course, and also Aladdin, the genie in Aladdin. In particular, in the wiki page, it was talking about the genie of the ring rather than genie of the lamp. Which I don't really know the differences that well, but he definitely did have, like, just his personality really gave me the feels of the genie from Aladdin, from the movies, because it was one of my favorites Disney movies when I was a kid.
Yeah, just one last point, before we move on specifically to the relic. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of this, but the just like the art vibes I got from this episode, and I don't mean visually, I just mean in terms of craftsmen needing references.
Yeah,
it's like a commissioner trying to get what the actual commissionee wants out of the artist.
Yep.
And I'm surprised I'm surprised I hadn't seen more jokes comparisons. But I'm like, this is why I don't do commissions, because I don't want to deal with people who don't know what they actually want.
I really like how they set the ground rules immediately with him, because like with all the relics as we found, there are rules. and thinks that, so you can't bring people back from the dead. So sorry for fans of
Yeah,
Clover and
makes
Pyrrha
sense.
and everyone else who's died.
It makes sense mostly just because it would undermine Salem and Ozpin's whole story.
Yeah, and the gods of light and darkness, the whole thing was against people bringing people from the dead.
That must be the rule that must be respected as life.
No, that one, absolutely. But also the other thing too is like, yeah, he can make you what you want, but if you're not specific enough with what you want, then what you get may not be what you want. It's very much like
monkey's paw. It's very like
that's what I was just thinking. The monkey's paw. You can make the wish, but it's not necessarily going to be what you want.
Yeah, it has to be exact. And there is no restrictions. It's just simply one at a time. But you can do as many as you want, but it can only be one thing at a time. It's
one active thing too.
It's almost like there's the analogy I think I came up with it is for like it's like there's an immense amount of like matter particles in the staff.
Yeah,
and it can create whatever. But it has to use those same particles of matter to create something new. So it can only go from one thing to another kind of thing. It's like how there's equivalent exchange. Like you can't make something, you have to destroy something in order to there's only infinite amount of
things. And that's the other rule is you can't destroy things as such.
Yes.
So how RWBY worded with Penny was the interesting thing. So we'll make a copy of her with her original robot parts.
We've literally just take everything robotic out of that and put it there, virus included. Now, and this is the big thing. It's like, so it's like, Ambrose even mentioned, like, okay, well, what will be left of Penny? It's like that's not a part of our wish.
Yeah.
But you can't destroy her, so you can't just leave a soul lying there because that will technically mean she's destroyed. So something now, I guess the big thing is, was it her aura that somehow manifested what she imagined herself to be in a living form? Was it just a side effect of Ambrosia that technically didn't fall under the staff of creation because they didn't ask for that?
I think in RWBY especially, a soul is different to what we would think of a soul like ROL. So a soul seems to be the person's spirit as such. So like if we were ever to see ghosts or spirits from the dead in the show, which is always a possibility, is they would have their shape as what they would appear in, what they would have been known as. I guess also a similar thing to Star Wars, where we saw the Force ghosts of Yoda and the others. They looked like as they did in real life, even though they're ghosts or spirits. So to me, I feel like the soul has an imprint of you. So if Penny's soul would have been an imprint of what she actually looked like. So when this all happened.
What I think is interesting too, is that because obviously she's not real, in a sense, like she's it's Pietro's aura and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It is very and I'll get into this a little bit. It's another very beautifully symbolic thing about Penny is that that's what she sees herself as.
Yes.
It's how she got the main power in the first place, despite it not making sense. It's because that's who Penny believes she's a real girl. She believes that's what she looks like. That believes that's what she is. So her aura manifests itself. As that. It is very gender identification, very modern, very postmodern storytelling for sure.
But so that's what her soul was, the imprint of her. But when Embraces made sort of like copies of her robotic parts, but they were linked in with what her soul was, and that's how she's sort of come to be now, what she looks like. So
do you think she is now a real flesh and blood person?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think that's her aura just let's say healing herself to have her body, or is this just Ambrosia can't destroy something, so something had to take its place?
In a way, he's created life, which I don't think's against the rules. He didn't necessarily bring someone back from the dead.
I created, I think replaced what was already there.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing too, is that the new creation was the pile of metal with the virus. Like that was what was new, but something had to replace what already had existed because the condition of the rule was take everything from here to there. So the magic finds a way, you could say, Jurassic Park, life finds a way kind of thing, where it's just that Penny's new body, or Penny's old body, I guess this is where it's confusing.
Yeah.
Penny's what Penny is now was simply the replacement. It simply replaced her. So she isn't new. It's just what was put in her place. What was new, what was moved from A to B.
I guess it was what she always was. As Blake said, it'll be Penny, the girl who was always there. So she is Penny, her soul, her being given
just,
physical form.
I get it. That's symbolic. That's beautiful. But she's not an android. She wasn't a real person. There's no flesh and blood in Penny. She is all robot. So again, symbolically beautiful. Yes, Blake, I get it. But let's explain this here. Soul.
It's all about the soul in the show.
I guess that's again back to the question then. Is it just the soul aura creating this body for the soul to live in? Or is it just Ambrosia replacing what he had moved?
I think
for another, therefore not counting under the creation rule because it wasn't a part of the wish.
Yeah, I think it's really just helping the soul be given a physical form as such, using the existing robot parts, giving her physical form to be what she always was meant to be, as best as I can describe it.
I feel like you're very much going around the very symbolic, it doesn't need to have understanding.
With RWBY too, we already have semblance and aura. We have a lot of things that are not the things that are made in the show. So
I 100% am okay with the idea of her aura just created a body magically for her to exist in. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I just want to know that.
I feel like what Ambrose's did was used.
Because he can't destroy something, has to put something in its place.
Yeah.
Therefore, and that's personally what I think. I think it's a mix of both, but I definitely think it's the idea that Ambrosia can't destroy, so something had to go in Penny's place.
Yeah.
And it just manifested as what Penny believed herself to be. So it was a bit of both, I think.
Yeah. That's it. And that's why she didn't have her rocket legs as well. She's just got normal legs too. I thought that was one really big difference too.
And also, if I was Penny, the first thing I would do was hug Yang so I could feel her boobs too.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry. Sorry. Respectfully, I'm sorry. But we both love boobs here, so that's fine.
Yes, absolutely.
No, but I loved another little detail too, because we get into the third episode now. But I love that the idea that RWBY was the one who used the staff to make Penny.
Yes.
Or recreate Penny or whatever. Then it was Weiss the one to save Mantle.
Yes.
And then it was Penny the one to keep the relic because she was created by it.
Yep.
In theory.
Well, so she's the Winter Maiden too. I feel like the reason why also it's Penny's sort of role to hold the staff is not only, of course, was she created by it, but also she's the Winter Maiden, so she's basically, it's her responsibility.
That's actually very true. And that's the thing too. I mean, I know this probably isn't worth asking, but is she still the maid? I assume she is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We didn't see it leave her as such, but I assume it's connected to her aura. Yeah, I think it's connected to her aura.
Now, can she still use her weapons? Will she manifest a semblance at some point?
There's a lot of questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see. Surely Penny, and also Penny now is far more vulnerable. Obviously.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
I guess she isn't more vulnerable necessarily because she had an aura before, so I guess she's probably not more vulnerable.
Yeah.
I guess
she can't technically be rebuilt again, even though that was sort of not much of an option because Pietro's running out of aura as such. But
yeah, I'm glad we never got to that point too.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think too. Was the reason that Penny's new body killed itself, was that just the self-termination of the virus, or was that the soul? Without a soul in the body, it can't really function anymore.
Well, it had the red eyes, so that made me think it might have been the virus, but it could have been also because the soul was no longer occupying; it was empty.
I first assumed it was without a soul powering it, it can't function.
That's true, because it was probably powered by her aura as such. So with her not being in there anymore, it's just an empty robotic shell.
It did open the vault, so it makes sense that the virus self-terminated itself.
Yeah. You could see, when RWBY sort of jumped into the vault and everything. You see Penny in the background going and her eyes were red, so...
Yeah, I didn't notice that the first time. That's why they were being so quick.
Yeah.
Was to get the relic, stop time, so that Penny doesn't... Which is really smart. That was really nice. Hopefully, I assume Ozpin let them know about that. Otherwise, that would have been a bad idea if that didn't stop time.
No, that's it. Well, it seems like all the relics have that ability. It also seems that all the relics will have some sort of guardian or spirit... too.
That's exactly what I was going to ask next, because I don't know. If you ask me, I don't like the idea of the Relic of Destruction not just being a simple sword that can destroy things on impact. I feel like...
It could still be, but it could be something a bit different with that particular spirit as such. I feel like there's going to be a spirit for it.
I get the idea of the Relic of Knowledge having a spirit. That made sense. Yeah. And the way they explained the Relic of Creation also makes sense. There's someone who does craft the things. There's someone who actually is in charge of it. That makes sense too. And I guess we still don't know what the relic of choice does. We assume it's some sort of mind control. I think we learned
remember the fairy tales?
Was it mind control? Was that the?
No, it wasn't mind control. Remember in the fairy tales, the fairy tale book, it mentioned about a crown, and it showed a future choice you'll need to make.
That's right. It showed you it was like a future almost premonitions. That's what the relic of choice did.
Yeah, it shows you a future choice. Yeah. Not necessarily what you need to make that choice, but a choice.
Still imagine those relics not having.
Yeah, I could see them not, but I kind of hope they do because I like the idea with the spirits and the guardians. But
what else do you do? You had a buff woman, you had a buff dude, fat woman and a fat dude.
I don't know.
It'll work, I guess. Do you have like a trans, then you have like a non-binary, or like?
I'm thinking too because the two relics, the knowledge and creation, as far as I can remember, were the God of Light's relics, and destruction and choice were the God of Darkness's relics.
I think choice was more was like the mutual one.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if, because we've got the two blue spirits, if we're gonna maybe get red spirits or something in the other two. Yeah.
Destruction was definitely.
Destruction, I could definitely see as being some sort of red spirit.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I don't know. Well, say that, but at the same time, I think okay, the God of Light did make the relics. We know that. He made the relics to give to Ozpin. Again, I guess the idea of...
They were a manifestation of the choice, what they made originally for humanity.
Both of the gods. But the relics themselves were the God of Light. So I like the idea. I do. But we also know that, I guess we haven't seen what the relic of destruction and choice look like beyond the silhouettes.
Yeah, we
don't know if they're gold and blue. They could be gold and red, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Otherwise, it could be possibly that these two relics that are left don't have spirits, but...
Yeah. I'm leaning towards that only these two have the spirits and the other two don't.
Yeah.
But again, at that point, is that weird to only have two have spirits? Like, again, the knowledge one made sense.
And creation kind of makes sense too.
It does, but I don't think it was necessary. I think the knowledge one makes sense that it had a spirit. The creation one I thought was a nice touch. Again, the whole artist vibe, needing references and stuff like that. And I love too, like that. Whitley helping with the references.
Yes.
I'm trying to think how they would have Penny's schematics, but I guess that's something they could probably log into with Pietro. I guess that's not too far-fetched to think they have.
I'm hoping. I can't wait till we see the reunion with Pietro and Penny. Because assuming they have a door for them too, but hopefully.
Well, I don't know about that.
Because they're not in Mantle and Atlas, so...
I still wouldn't be surprised if Amity crashed in Vacuo. I still think that...
Well, that's true. They might get another ticket, another way to get there.
Yeah, but I like that, like Whitley having planned the SGC evacuation before it happened, obviously before the ships were shut down, that he kind of had the layouts and schematics of evacuation tunnels and stuff like that. They kind of use that as the blueprint for what ended up being the central location, which that was probably my favorite part of the episode, actually, surprisingly, despite the Penny thing.
Yes.
Was Yang's kind of moment of because she's the only other person who's been in two vaults before. She's the only person who knows that this is constant amongst most vaults, is these like pockets of dimensions. That
I also wanted to mention about that too. We're jumping all around today. That's fine.
I want to get the Penny thing first because
I know.
I had a long back and forth of what the hell happened.
I was just mind blown with the whole Penny thing. So with the environments and the relics, I found it really interesting that there seem to be opposites to where they are. So with Atlas, of course, being winter, snow, ice, the relics thing was a field of grass and flowers, and it was really pretty. Where we had with Mistral, it was a desert, where Mistral was the usual, So I really like the opposite. So which makes me wonder, the one in Vacuo is probably going to be winter or snowy tundra.
I imagine snowy or like ocean.
Yeah. But I'm not sure about Veils, what Veils could be.
One that I thought this week myself.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of was like volcanic.
Yeah.
As being like a drastic change, but we haven't seen a volcanic. I think if you look at a map, I think the only volcanic place is either somewhere in the Dragon continent, or I think that east tail of Mistral, Anima, sorry. I think is the only places that are possibly volcanic. But it would be good for our first volcanic location to be a vault and not like actually. Well, I agree.
It'll be interesting what it is,
I think volcanic is definitely a stretch because we haven't seen that environment yet. But I guess seeing the desert was also a bloody that surprised us, but we knew we knew the desert was like a thing with Vacuum. We knew that.
Yeah, it was just like that was very opposite to what Mistral is. So then we got the field of grass and the flowers in.
I found surprising that the Relic of Creation had like a podium, like a
it did, yeah.
A podium worked, but that wasn't what I was looking for.
Yeah, it had sort of like it was like resting on something.
It was like, whereas like the Relic of Knowledge was just sitting there. I think there was a rock under it.
Yeah,
like
it was sort of floating.
Yeah. Whereas this one had like a full podium and set up for like a placement. I can't think of the right word.
Yeah.
But like had a stand for it in a sense.
Yes.
And it didn't have as much of like the wavy effect. So
no.
If that was more like a desert.
I think because the desert in particular, it had
desert and the fact there was like another dimension thing. Because we saw that same effect with Ozpin when he was in Purgatory, I guess.
Yeah.
In the Void. Before he came back. So.
Yeah, so they definitely seem to be sort of in between, but not of Remnant. But yeah,
and that's the thing. I love that Yang was the one to kind of
bring
that light. Again, Blake didn't get much. Obviously, Blake got the whole Penny, the girl that was left behind.
She still got
the girl that was
thing,
there, right?
Yeah.
But I hope we get some more moments like our team was all there and stuff. Like Weiss had a thing, RWBY had a thing, Yang had a thing. Blake didn't super have a thing, so I'm hoping we're going to get more into that kind of stuff.
I liked how they went to the vault with Penny. It was Team RWBY this time, with the relics. I really like that.
Yeah, it was funny when I was watching the fight with Ironwood.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even think that it was just Juniper.
I was like, Team RWBY isn't here because they're on their way to the vault.
They all went to the vault, which is nice. So I guess we'll jump back to the kind of start now.
Yes. This took me by surprise with it. Like I didn't. Well, I thought it was the real Penny. I didn't realize it would be Emerald. So I really loved that. But I also like with this scene too, when with the Aesops and had the diversion, of course, with Crow and Robin. I thought that was really good. And then Winter did say to Ironwood, knowing she knew the others were standing behind, it's just like, are you sure this is the right course of action?
Like Winter seeding, like, hey, no, you guys go handle that. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Because she knew what was coming, kind of thing. And that was nice. I definitely admit when I first saw it, I was like, I thought it was like a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, you go back and realize that she'd been talking to Weiss.
Yeah.
For the past hours or so, and kind of planning this all out.
And she was sort of like acting the part, was saying like the payload is our leverage. We can't lose that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, she was like egging the Aesops on to leave so they could fight Ironwood by themselves.
Yeah.
I will say, I guess in hindsight, I'm a little surprised there weren't like more guards and stuff there. But I guess I can also understand the idea of one, the Aesops were meant to be there, and two, the idea that Ironwood was kind of showing a sense of like, hey, you come alone, I'll be alone. In a sense, kind of trying to show that kind of diplomacy.
I think too, because they had a lot of the guards down where the payload was. So
there were more important things. They're still fighting off Grim and stuff. As you saw as the episode starts, they're still Grim around flying and stuff.
Yes, that's true.
All that. And I liked. As dumb as it kind of is, I do like Ironwood's gun.
Yes, that massive thing.
Only because it reminded me of Penny's lasers.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that would be the only kind of weapon that would really harm Penny. It's the same thing that she does. So if it's based on the same tech, then I'm okay with it. Otherwise, it's stupid. But if it is meant to be the green lasers like Penny does, then I'm like, okay, I can see the reasoning. I can see that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just a massive gun, like Jesus. Compensating for something, I would.
It was just two handguns.
Yeah.
To like a rig. Basically. Yeah. And had to charge up like Penny lasers, I think.
Yeah. I still thought it was a little over the top. But...
And shout out to Taylor? Tabby? Oh my god, I'm Taylor Binney. Her Twitter handle is Tabby, so I got confused. For doing the Emerald line.
Yes.
Of I have. It sounded such a good middle between Emerald and Penny. That was really good. As soon as she said that, I'm like, oh, I like how that sounds. It kind sound like that more, but I like how that sounded.
And I love the reveal too. Then I was like, oh my god! And then the kick, like,
you saw the shuttle and Team Juniper were all there in the background as well.
Yeah.
I just love I love the and the thing is too, Winter saw all that. Like it's just Ironwood who didn't see any of that. Yeah. Which I really liked.
And of course the Aesops too.
All that she would have seen Emerald, and well, I guess she could have been masking Winter, but she wouldn't need to. She could, but she wouldn't need to.
Yeah. She may have done it just to make it easier for Winter, because that would have been really weird otherwise.
Yeah, but I love the idea, especially too. I saw this on Twitter or Reddit or somewhere where Emerald pulled a Mercury and did like a backflip kick. And I was like, oh, Mercury would be so proud. in a fighting sense, obviously not.
Yes, in a fighting sense. Yes.
But, yeah, so that was just a nice thing. Then we also see Chrome Robin just basically making distraction, just tearing down the
and Marrow's with them, of course.
Yeah, we don't know that at first.
No.
But we see them just destroying all the androids and stopping the
payload
bomb.
Yep.
And stuff, trying to make sure. And then we just jump into the fight. And
yes.
Again, I didn't notice at the time, but it is a rather short fight.
It is.
But it is paced really well.
It's so good.
It does jump back and forth between ASOPs to kind of extend it and make it feel longer than it actually is, to artificially make it feel like a longer scene, because it jumps between the Aesop's fight, which isn't actually.
There was some really good moments, like we had Ironwood clash with Jean. Hey, Kaylin! Yep. And I also do liked with Nora when she was charging up about to jump on him, that her tattoos, her scars all lit up pink too, which was really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's really neat.
And it's one of those things too where I guess I saw people ask things like, was that Winter using time dilation?
I think she might have been.
I think she might have been. I'm like, you bastard. Volumes, you give it to Winter. But no, I loved. It felt like a very fan made fight. Just the way it was kind of like, the way it was kind of shot, and how it was like one character coming in, getting knocked away, another character coming in, getting knocked away. That's a very fan way to animate fighting. And I like how it was framed, because it was very Monty-esque. Like, it was just very like, it was just on the side. You saw two characters coming at each other fighting. Again, like I said, Jean coming in, Sword getting back, Oscar coming in, punched away. I loved Ren, pulling him in, and I love Ironwood kicking his way back up.
Yep.
Get into again. I loved how smooth it flowed. The only thing I will say, and it's not a critique at all, but a lot of the faces were quite blank.
Yeah.
And if that's the sacrifice you have to make the choreography good, fine. don't focus on making the facial animations good, because like Nora, like in the moment, it's like Ironwood and Nora's one look good when they did it. And coming in with the Manticore, and
yes, I love that.
Boss, I love that, and just how the close up, how closely the camera was zoomed in.
Yes.
On Winter and Ironwood as she shot the ice spikes into his back, and I just love that. Just that scene of her shooting the ice spikes in the air and just all flying into Ironwood's back, and it was so zoomed in. I just really liked that. It was so, and the music. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh yeah.
And then she comes back with the black glyph, the gravity glyph. Sends Oscar forward, uses a little more of the kinetic energy, does the classic Oscar Ozpin move, and then what I think happened was, I think we finally saw what the charged up strike that she didn't get to do in Volume 3.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Charge up, but we saw her in the position. We didn't see the glyph, and then we just saw the come in and just the overly.
It was so anime. I loved it so much.
I think that's what she was trying to do in Volume 3 to Chrome. I think that's the same move.
The charge up move, yeah.
Yeah. So to see that kind of finally happen was just really awesome, and I love how it was just like hit him, or breaks, just really.
It was so good.
And the music. So
music. Yeah. So the lyrics allude to Emerald, but also Nora, because it's sort of like the last line was the headstrong and hit stuff sort of line. So
yeah, and it was basically all about how just because you are full, just because you are whole, just because you think yourself as I am complete.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you still have room to grow. It doesn't mean you still don't have room to change.
I had the lyric video. So Sir and Madams posted a lyric video. Yeah, where's my videos gone? There. Be strong and hit stuff. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. So it's all about kind of just because you're whole, just because you're finished, doesn't mean you still can't grow, you still can't change. You still kind of...
it's okay. In time, you will grow. Just wait for that. But that doesn't mean you're not already whole. Yeah. Mistakes that you've made will stay in the past. Redemption is yours if you follow that path. Yeah. You just hold on, stay tough, be strong, and hit stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, it's very appropriate that we get like possibly.
And there's a shot of Nora with the scars all glowing pink and that too. You can just make them out. Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, no, so it's very cool. Again, like Nora becoming herself and kind of, you know, being herself kind of thing to get like possibly a solo song, or like a kind of at least like a solo kind of chapter or paragraph of the song, whether it also relates to Emerald or Ren and stuff as well.
Yeah. Also, the petals that were in the previous episode with Nora were white, not pink. Because that was confirmed in the little video that Murder of Birds posted with showing Samantha with the voice actor, but it had the script and they were white. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was pink.
Yeah. I understand clear what all those different petals mean.
Well, in the script they mentioned about that she's at peace with herself and
that makes sense.
Yeah, she's ready to take
like
this next journey.
The White Lotus meaning you're at peace. That makes
sense.
Yeah,
peace. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that fight. We'll then get the flashback. Yeah, like a little bit of a flashback, a little bit drawn out, kind of just explaining everything, kind of just making sure everything's set and the groundwork is placed with what's going to happen. I like Mara Winter in the elevator. That was cute.
Yes, I love that too. I love the little animated little things with Mara and like looking at Weiss the Squirrel and Weiss the Winter Squirrel. And of course, it was them in the elevator that Robin and Crow saw. So yeah.
Yeah. That was actually like Winter's kind of like, you know, it's like, well, it's like talking about help.
Talking about help.
Yeah, I always love any sort of Crow Winter interaction at all. So that was cool. I will say, I don't know if this is like, I don't know how to say this without sounding. I don't know. I'm trying to sound the best I can be here.
Yeah.
I just really like the fact that we have two, like, you know, because RWBY isn't the most. There aren't a lot of black characters in RWBY.
Yeah.
So I really like that, like we got Emerald and Marrow kind of being these kind of like
the darker skinned characters.
Yeah. That kind of like are kind of having a more like, I don't know if Marrow will stick around after Atlas. I assume Emerald will. But it's just good in that sense that we have some like black heroes because we haven't really had.
We haven't had many darker skinned characters, so it is good to have them.
When I saw this episode, I was like, I think it's really cool. I guess
it is, yeah.
Again, I don't know and pick up that stuff normally.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that, like, I think that's quite a cool little thing. And again, I hope Mara does stick around. Obviously, we kind of had the thing this episode where it's like, everyone complains that Mara isn't used well enough. Well, we don't really have the time to do a full Aesop's fight, so semblance. It was a very cute way of the Caribbean to kind of be like, fine, here, he's stopping a fight. You happy now? So now we're all happy. And then people are going to be like, oh, didn't see Aesop's fight Crow. It's like, well, yeah, everyone kept asking that Mara should use semblance.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep.
Take your cake and eat it.
I thought I enjoyed that scene too. Like I said, we don't want to fight, but yeah. And we all had to make tough choices. So yeah.
When I filled them in, it's like, hey, rather than fighting Ironwood, let's go and stop the bomb.
Yeah.
Other people have it. So we did. So I assume we won't get Ironwood versus Crow, at least not yet.
Not yet.
Still around, and we know they have plans to take Ironwood with them, along with Jacques. Which I love that scene.
Yeah. It was Wise who asked about Jacques, not
Yeah. I'm hoping that leads to something. Because again, like, I mean, So we also have the broadcast, obviously them trying to let everyone know how Atlas is going to fall, gravity dust. Like,
I like how they had the sort of like the sound of Atlas starting to fall too, which was really good. So
yeah, like that was their indication,
and that they confirmed it won't drop, like plummet. So when we had the chat in the Shani manner when they're discussing the plans,
there is like natural gravity dust. Like you'll stay afloat for a little bit in case this happens.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll touch down, and that will probably destroy Mantle at the very least.
Yeah.
At least everyone in the crater at the very least.
Yeah.
If nothing else. But then obviously we had kind of the
broadcast.
One of the two ominous things that happened this episode, obviously the do not fall.
Yeah.
And the kind of thing that I think everyone will probably overlook in hindsight is the fact that the broadcast was cut off.
Yeah.
They get through to that, and and Oscar, being his normal Oscar self, was like, no, that's not important right now. What do we do now? It's like, Oscar, that's important.
Yeah. So what do we do now?
He always like shifts the thing.
Yeah.
But I assume
I thought Watts, but then I thought maybe it might have had something to do with Atlas falling. But
maybe
it could have been either, because it was just interesting it happened just after Atlas started to fall, when all the communications went down.
We don't know what Watts is up to. We don't know what Nia's up to at the moment.
No, we don't.
Cinder are seemingly going to pass as a refugee to get into the portals.
Well, they knew that they were going down to the vault. Well, at least the plan was for Penny to go down to the vault with Ironwood. So I heard that on the communications.
Had their plan kind of shifted from go to the vault to end
Let's
up
see what
coming
happens.
across these portals. So I'm
Maybe
curious
they're
to see-
hoping to have Winter open the vault and get the relic and then ambush them, maybe, but
maybe that's possible.
maybe. But
Makes
as
sense
what said too, like
doing the whole thing about like
yeah,
don't
need to be
just,
smart.
don't just
and-
don't
yeah.
just run to the vault kind of thing, like
like
go
she
to
did
the
last
vault.
time. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, hopefully we're getting more of that volume 3 kind of Cinder, more thinking about and trying to plan stuff out long term kind of thing. Very similar to Salem.
Yeah. So they're biding their time for the right moment. So
and again, Cinder fall, do not fall.
Yeah.
Neo, Ruby, all gonna be in the same place at the same time.
So I love the doors too. So
yes.
with the doors, so they walk through one side, then become in the center area where basically where the vault is,
Central.
and then they go back through the door to arrive in Vacuo.
Well, there is a main portal at the end of all the walkways. There's a main portal at the end. And
Oh, is that where they have to go through?
Vacuo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That one goes to back. Yeah, it wasn't super clear. I agree.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I wasn't
So
sure.
it is.
There is a big central store at the base of all the paths.
Oh,
It's very much the goal of the yellow brick road.
Yeah, funnel everyone through to the central location and get them out through the door. Yeah.
I think that's the idea. Everyone follow the yellow brick road to Vacuo.
Yeah, but those steps and things. I wonder too if there's going to be a fight in that vault. I can see the party in the vault.
I mean,
still.
I'd assume that that's where we're leading to, whether or not that's like
yeah.
Yang and Neo, Ruby and Cinder. Again, what are Weiss and Blake be doing in this situation? Where's Watts in this?
Yeah.
You know, do Jacques and I would make it out? Do they get time to actually take them, go back and get them?
Yep.
Trying to think, is there anyone else? Yeah, Hazel, is there any chance Hazel would show back up or not? I doubt it, but again, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of who. Because I mean, if it is just Cinder and Neo, I don't know if Cinder and well, they probably could. Or Penny, like what Penny gonna do in this situation with Cinder and Neo possibly fighting? Like, I don't think Cinder and Neo could take down all Team RWBY and Penny by themselves. Like, I think it'd be closer than we would think.
Yeah.
Especially with Cinder being the maiden.
And then we got all the people as well who's going to be funneling through these doorways in this area.
The only thing I could think is Cinder and RWBY fall off them together fighting. And
yeah.
End up going. I don't know if it's just like. I've seen some people think about like time travel. Things have talked about going to another alternate reality.
Yeah. Well, the girl who falls through the world. I just thought of that. Maybe something along those lines with that fairy tale that was brought up. Yeah.
Me, personally, same thing with the whole Lost Sable thing. I don't like jumping around in time. I like sticking to RWBY as it is and just keeping that story. I don't like in theory at least the idea of.
It'll be interesting to go into another dimension. That will be really interesting.
Yeah, but I just feel like it takes away from what we've been building for the past 9 volumes. I'm sure we'll go there, come back.
Don't worry, RWBY.
Oh, watch out! The boomcasters are coming in.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Hi, we're sort of very nearly wrapping up. We've still got a bit to talk about.
Yeah, we're just
talking about the doors and falling.
Yeah, just the consequence of falling. Like, what's going to happen here? And
Bill,
I really don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll just bring it up about the fairy tale that was mentioned, the girl falling through the world. Maybe something like
so it makes sense that again, the idea of like, falling into a different world.
Maybe they fall off into a different dimension, maybe. I don't know.
Again, that makes sense. But I'm just like, so what, are we just going to have a volume of Cinder and RWBY maybe just fighting in a different world for a whole That'd be cool. I mean, I don't be against that.
If they all both fell together.
Like a Cinder alone, like a Zuko alone kind of arc for Cinder maybe. Being herself before they eventually come back. It makes sense with the whole Volume 9 being a shorter volume and Volume 9 being this kind of planned significant moment in the story.
Yeah.
Kind of,
interesting.
To some other dimension kind of thing.
I
guess would make sense, but
yeah. No. I like that idea. We'll see what happens. I think that something's definitely going to happen with the doorways and falling and such. But I thought this Team RWBY will be almost completely out of Volume 9. So I try to figure out how to save them. Yeah.
I'd like that. I mean, again, we were just talking before, like, I'd like for
Blake
and Yang to have a bit, like, obviously since Adam, Blake has been a bit lacking of, like, super, like, significant involvement in the story. Obviously now we have RWBY with the summer thing, she's more involved. Now we have Yang with the Salem thing, she's now more involved now. Weiss has obviously been the whole Mantle thing, but Mantle and White, Atlas thing, but it hasn't been played up too much because there's been more important things to deal with. We haven't had too much, like, Weiss dealing with, like, being an Atlas, we haven't had too much of that. So on one hand, I like the idea because obviously RWBY has a ton of side characters. We have so many characters we can like just focus on Juniper and Marrow and
everyone
spending the whole volume trying to save them. And it makes sense because we've got volume 6 was obviously mostly Team RWBY. So it makes sense to maybe go on the opposite and they maybe have more of the other volume. But then again, volume 4, sorry, with everyone split up wasn't everyone's favorite. So maybe not having the main team in the show together
be interesting.
Might not work super well, but I like the idea. I
do like the idea.
And
cool.
obviously, in the intro, you just see all of Team RWBY fall, not just RWBY.
Yep.
In the intro, obviously, with the falling into the lake, but
do not fall. It's very ominous.
Yeah.
But the next chapter is going to be interesting. Seeing everyone going through these doors into Vacuo, people in Vacuo reacting with all these people suddenly appearing, and of course, Cinder, what's Neo plan to do?
Yeah, I'm curious how much they're going to go into. Obviously, in the books, obviously, strangers being a thing in Vacuo is a very significant cultural.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and obviously, you got to think of stuff like supplies and like how people can
to feed all these people who are suddenly appearing. Yep.
Again, I definitely understand the criticism of the plan.
Yeah.
And saying criticism of Vacuo of all places. Like, I get that, but our characters aren't perfect. They're just trying to do what they think was right. And, I don't know if I myself would be thinking that logistically about it,
Yeah, maybe they should have gone to Vale or somewhere.
In a day or so. Let's just get everyone out of here. We can't take them to Vale. We know that's Grim infested.
No, that's true. It is Grim infested,
We can't take them to Mistral because we just, it's like Mistral's just Mistral. White guy. Again, I get it, but also at the same time, guys, let's go to Vacuo at some point.
It kind of, in a way, story-wise, it makes sense for Vacuo.
Yeah. And again, Vacuo has always been made up to be this, like, Crow mentions it too, like, Vacuo will be one of the hardest places for Salem to kind of attack, because, again, how, it's, how do you get, like, other thieves and scoundrels fighting against other thieves and scoundrels? That was, like, a big thing. But Vacuo was meant to be attacked before Atlas. We know that was a significant...
That was meant to be Salem's next... Yeah, next...
Yeah, that was meant to be, but obviously, it changed once she realized that Ozpin had the Relic of Knowledge and was heading to Atlas.
Yeah.
And Watts kind of was like, hey, let's do this because if Ironwood helping Ozpin, then we're screwed. That didn't...
It didn't end up happening anyway. Yeah. Well, yes. I'm excited for tomorrow's episode. Yes.
So I will double check, but since we were earlier, I doubt there'll be any information on the next episode.
No, and they seem to be not releasing the details of the thumbnail and stuff until a little bit later.
True.
Hey, Chozo, what are you still doing up? Well, I guess we are finishing an hour earlier than we normally would. Yes.
I was curious. How do you feel about
I just heading to bed. No worries.
Emerald's turn? Do you think it's felt natural? Do you think it's felt a little rushed? Like, what are you feeling?
I think it's natural with all the events that are happening. She was already leaning towards doubting that being with Satan was the right course of action, and Hazel sort of helped with that too. And yeah, I definitely think it's become a natural thing. If she didn't run into Jean, Yang, and Ren in the whale, maybe not. She might not have joined up with the team maybe as fast. She might have maybe headed out to try and find Cinder on her own, maybe.
Like that's the thing for me. As long as it's out of desperation and the right thing to do.
I think just how it's just worked out. Yeah.
I just don't want Emerald to be buddy with any of them.
No, well, doesn't seem to be.
No, but we had the cute little moment last episode. With,
yeah. For you guys to give up just when I've swapped sides.
As long as there's still some angst between them all, then I'm fine with it. It's just we didn't see any of that last episode. Again, I mean, obviously Emerald wasn't it was
you see her interact with Cinder now. Yeah,
you're live, idiot.
It was interesting, cool, because in the broadcast you could hear Emerald's voice, though you couldn't see her because it was focused on Jean. So it will be interesting if Cinder recognised her voice or not. But
that's a good point. Actually, I didn't think about that. That's actually a great point.
Night, Chaser. No.
But that's a great point. And like Corey mentioned too, I as much as Emerald, I think wants to not have
no evening stream Chozo. By the way, I'm not sure if I told you. Yeah, sorry. Before Chozo disappeared, no evening stream because I got the wedding today.
Yeah, as much as the world means to Emerald, I think Cinder means the world to Emerald.
Yeah, I feel like her trust and and with Cinder has become a bit rocky as such because of everything that's happened, and like she's abandoned her, she's just been using her, and I think she's starting to realize that, but I don't think it's all set in stone yet. I
can very much just imagine
like she could still be swayed maybe to.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think the intention would be Emerald trying to bring Cinder to reason.
Yeah,
I think would be likely like, hey,
Salem's just using you. Yeah,
destroy the world kind of thing. I watched recently. I watched because you mentioned Susan Adams earlier. I watched Blind Waves. They just did their reaction to Midnight.
Yes,
so they did their reaction to Cinder's backstory.
I need to watch their reactions.
And just in general, like that was one of my best reactions I've seen of them because they actually talk about the episode for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
whereas they tend to like they just talk. You know, someone will bring something up, and they'll just talk about that for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it won't be RWBY related. They tend to go off track a bit, but they actually spend a lot of time talking about Cinder and her backstory and comparing like how Cinder, killed Rhodes to like, to free herself from any sort of power over her.
Yeah.
Only to wind up under Salem in the exact same thing, and how she was defiant in episode 5 by not having a master, and like, like that her intent is to kind of like be powerful and not kind of have the master thing. And I'm just really curious how much Watts' a dismantling of her psyche will further play into that idea of how my mind's just completely blank now. How loyal? God damn! How loyal Cinder will be to Salem once Salem
Yes. Yeah. Get it out there. Well, does anyone have any questions before we wrap up? I mentioned about my reaction at the start already, so that'll be something will be posted at some point. Thank you to anyone who's watching live or watching the Twitch bot or the YouTube bot. It means a lot to us. Me and Larissa love talking about RWBY with each other, and we love the idea of anyone coming around and joining in the conversation with us. I believe we'll be here next week, as long as my house doesn't collapse in the rain, as it's anxiously happening at the moment. There. Wild weather in Sydney at the moment. Yes. Well, it's nice here in Tassie. The house is not built for rain, so it's been an anxious day, and it's going to be an anxious few days, but it should be all right. Get the SES and throw a damn top over the roof. Katie brought up. You had to embrace and make you a new house. Katie brought it up yesterday too, that next weekend's the last episode that's released. Even though we'll still do a Corner of Remnant and everything for Chapter 13, but Chapter 14 is released next weekend, so that's the finale is next weekend. I forgot those are coming out today. No. I was like, next weekend. It's episode 13. I forgot there's one coming out literally tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. 13's tomorrow. But the finale's next weekend. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny because I keep seeing a lot of people on my timeline are hyped for the new Monster Hunter game. And that comes out the same weekend as RWBY finishes, I think. Doesn't make sense. Time is weird. I know. And it's like I keep seeing everyone like, oh, Monster Hunter is like out in a week, and I'm like, RWBY isn't done in a week, and I'm like, oh crap, yes it is. Yeah. Even though we still got our podcast the following weekend to discuss everything, and our reactions will be going up. Well, my reaction, the others will be going up the week after. But finale is posted next weekend. Woo! Crazy. I remember. I know Chris, the lead audio designer for RWBY, was mentioning wrapping up on the. You said the finale, whether that's the 2 episodes or 1, I don't know. Yeah. Clearly, I think they're quite almost finished with this. Awesome. The Ironwood fight was great. I'm still hoping for 1 or 2 really good fights to finish off the volume, but I also understand that. I think we will definitely get a fight in the vault to finish everything off. Finally, have Cinder versus RWBY. Surely that's got to happen. Yeah. But it's the same place, same time. I mean, I guess it probably is more likely that it'd be Neo versus RWBY, but again, that's true. We've still got that to happen too. But again, if it is Cinder versus RWBY, it makes sense to have Neo versus Yang. Yep. But then what are Weiss and Blake and Penny doing? Just corralling the evacuation, I guess. That makes sense. Yeah. I know, we'll find out. Obviously it's Weiss's people. Obviously Blake could probably be
familiar with like dealing with lots of people and stuff with the White Fang and stuff, so that would make sense. Penny being the protector of Mantle almost makes sense for them to be kind of like the guardians, like make sure everyone's getting through safely, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that a valid excuse to not have them fight? Maybe. But we'll see. Yeah, still got 2 episodes left, so still got like what I assume to be the fall, and then maybe a Vacuo finale. Like I don't like it's again so much happened this episode. We still have 2 more episodes, but how much can really happen in those 2 episodes other than getting to Vacuo? Like, how can we stretch out getting to Vacuo in 2 episodes?
I just had a thought, what if someone tries to use the stuff whilst they're doing the evacuation and make something, then all the doors and everything would disappear.
Yeah, well,
I just had that thought.
That would be a concern for sure.
Because I was just thinking how Penny's body sort of disappeared shortly, like her body just vanished. I thought that was a result of the power of the staff now is doing all the doors. Yeah. It was interesting.
I just had another thought. Oh yeah. I guess this is maybe probably more appropriate for the finale episode.
Yeah.
But do you think we're getting Volume 9 this year?
I don't know. I was thinking it might not. It might not be too early.
I'm
22.
Thinking like a January probably release for the next volume. Especially if it is a shorter volume.
If it's shorter, that also makes sense. Yeah.
Just release it in the aftermath and stuff, and just like I'm not sure. Obviously we had 2 big delays this I guess we had 1 big delay and then a week. What am I saying? That obviously pushed it back, and then it started later as well. So I mean, I can see that, especially with like everyone still working from home and stuff. I know Rooster Teeth have had some in-house productions again, but that's like podcasts. I wouldn't get 50 animators into a room or anything like that.
Yeah.
And also Rooster Teeth Animation is like a whole separate thing from the Rooster Teeth Studios at this point anyway. So again, I assume everyone's still working from home and still will be doing so for some time, despite Texas being dumb. No offense, fuck you, Ted Cruz. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. But I'm really curious to see RWBY going forward. For sure, especially these 2 episodes, crazy.
They've been so good. I'm so looking forward to finding out what happens. I'm a little nervous, but I'm really looking forward to it. But I think we should wrap up. So thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, especially the earlier stream. Thank you everyone.
Yes, I have an early stream because it's my brother's wedding today. It's exciting. This hopefully I'll be able to get this the stream rendered and uploaded in time to post tomorrow, or it might be a little bit later, but it'll but yes, because I need to go get myself ready in a minute. So but yeah, we're good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, where's the great one? I got everything all packed up here. All hail the great one. Her hair's kind of gone a bit screwy. I need to fix the this has come undone. Need to fix that at some point. I was thinking of putting a button in it and then restitching it.
The artistic mastery that is the great one.
Yes, it's falling apart.
Oh, they also announced the Yang Nendoroid.
Yes. Well. Oh yeah. I need to pre-order that at my local store because it looks amazing. I want to get all 4 of them. Yeah,
I have the RWBY pop-up and I have ordered the Blake Nendoroid. The Yang one looks pretty cool, but money. So I'm gonna stick with Blake.
Yeah, I really liked with the Yang one that it's got interchangeable face and hair, and you can have
that was really
cool. Lots of different things. Doesn't have a robotic arm, but it is.
I love the
pretty.
Glasses,
yeah, the sunnies are really cool.
I just like Blake. I just like Blake's little cute little Nendoroid, and I love the facial expressions and stuff. And I don't have a Blake figure, so I figured I'd get
I'm going to get all 4 of the Nendoroids, but I've decided with the pop-ups, I've just got RWBY one and I pre-ordered the Weiss one for Kaylee. But yeah, I still haven't unboxed. I'm planning what I'm going to do with her is I was going to record it when I got my cosplay table set up, so I was going to do that then. It looks so cool. Yeah.
Bloody my cat keeps bloody attacking it.
Oh no. But yes, wrapping up, thank you everyone so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you all next week to discuss chapter 13. Exciting. But thank you for watching. We'll see you then. Have an awesome week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.